Okay, we're back with the chapters wrap with, well, Brian McLaughlin and Steve Vaccaro, if he ever gets his nose out of that book.
We're on?
We're on, Steve.
Right.
Live.
Really?
Yeah,
live? Oh,
yeah,
I'm sorry.
live TV.
I can't put this book down.
Thank you.
Yeah, I want to compliment you first for the book, but it's inspiring, it's motivating, but it really connects the chord here. And I'm actually reading a little passage on 24 on your book. So
Okay.
I want to compliment you first of all.
Yeah, keep on. Yeah, I
Yeah.
won't stop you with that.
Yeah, well, I just can't stop reading this. I know I have heard that many people who suffer the loss of a loved one often wonder if that loved one is okay where they are. I can certainly say that with clarity that passing on was a pleasant experience, and there was no time that I wondered about wondering where to go or what to do. When I passed, I went straight to my father, who seemed to be waiting for me. Having watched him wither away and lose his battle with cancer, I was so amazed at how he looked when I saw him on the other side. He was happy, he was vibrant, and full of energy, compassion, and understanding. I mean, talk
Powerful
about
stuff, huh?
Yeah, talk about your father a little bit.
Well, it's you know, it doesn't indicate the problems that we may have had here in life, but what it does indicate is that disappeared. You know, none of the issues that we dealt with as father and son, you know, on a day-to-day basis, carried over. So that was part of the pleasant nature of the journey that I took and
Right.
the things that I saw. So you know, for me, it was all good. I mean, he didn't tell me I looked horrible from the accident I had come from, and I didn't comment to him on how well he looked. It was just accepted. It was a given.
Right.
A lot of things weren't said. It was just accepted. You know, just done, not said. So it was almost a different type of communication that went on. Many things, you know, I hesitate to use the word telepathy, but so many things seem to have come across without a traditional speech that I have to at least consider that.
Right, right.
And you know, I got a lot from him, and I got as I said in the book, I got a lot from the smile that he gave me. Said 1,000 words, all of which I understood. So I don't know how the knowledge and the understanding and clarity and stuff all got through to me, but I don't need to know.
Right.
You know, it did. It got through, and however it did, I'm happy with.
So in retrospect, looking back on it, are you taken back or surprised that the person that you reconnected with in heaven was your father?
No, not at all. Not at all. My father was, well, he was a typical patriarch of the family. He tried to teach us how to live, and in his dying process, I think he tried to teach us how to handle that as well. So he didn't, I never saw him feel sorry for himself. He took the high road all the time that I could see. Anyway, he may have had a different approach with my mother, but as far as we were concerned as his kids, he kind of showed us the path to take in the dying process as well.
Right, right.
So yeah, there were no issues.
Right.
No issues.
So when you do talks in your book or book signings and things when you travel around, you must connect with people that have gone through loss.
Yeah, everybody has. Yeah.
And do you get feedback on, or do you get questions about, you know, how can they connect with people or their thoughts on lost ones?
Yeah, the questions vary from person to person. Some people are concerned about, you know, how their loved one might be doing, you know, worried that they're okay. Others are concerned with whether or not there's, you know, I developed any communication.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it is all different avenues of concern and interest. I didn't develop any way to communicate with him now that I'm aware of. Anyway, I keep discovering new things that I came away from that experience with, but that hasn't been one of them.
Right.
And it didn't seem to be an issue. It didn't seem to be necessary even, because everything was right. In other words, when I saw him and so forth, everything was right. So there was no need for, continued communication. There was no need for him to suggest how to run my life, or like a father might do if he was here. Things were just smooth.
Right.
There was just no reason for further talk, I guess.
Right. So, Brian, you do double duty. You're co-hosting the show, your book, A Flight Without Wings, My Experience with Heaven, A Journey There and Back. How did you get this book done, and what was the process for you? I mean, was it difficult? Did you do it quickly? Was it kind of something where, kind of had to take it all in? I mean, what was the genesis of this?
Listen, I had 20 years to think about it. So I over those 20 years, I had tested out a lot of different things, a lot of different feelings that I felt that I absorbed while I was there. I took the time to test in real life, so that I knew whether or not it was just nonsense or something I was feeling, or whether I actually picked up some skill that I could actively use in my life.
Right.
And I put them to the test and followed through on it. And several of them were hugely successful. And from that, I mean, that validated it for me. I really didn't need anything else. I mean, I knew I had this feeling, and I felt I walked away with heightened senses of, like intuition and awareness and things like that, and also a lack of fear. So in putting those things to the test, when you had success after success, you can pretty much accept the fact that you did get something from it.
Right.
And you could put it to use.
Right. What I like about the book, because I have trouble putting it down. I've read it already, but there's always little pieces in it. It's kind of life lessons in it, and to me, it's kind of raw, where you're really feeling your emotion and your feelings and your journey. I mean, was that the impact you were trying to make on folks?
Yeah, it's exactly the impact. I wrote this in a style very specifically, just like we're sitting here talking, and I've been accused, I guess, in some reviews of, bouncing back and forth. So, what I say to those people is this: is that when you're having a conversation with someone, you go off on tangents periodically, you follow it through, and then you know what? You think of something that you left out on the last part, and you go back to it.
Right.
I mean, there's not really a necessity for structure in a conversation.
Right.
And because of that, I think that I came across honestly to the readers, and from that honesty comes some believability that they were able to pick up,
Right.
and it just makes the whole thing gel.
Right. I think